With so many car review channels out there, it can be difficult to know which one to watch. And they're great for showing you all the functions and features of a car, but once you've got your car, how do you know how to use all of those features? Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Dave from Fish Brothers Skoda in Swindon, and I'm here to show you how to get the very best out of your Skoda. My name is Dave, and I sell Skodas. Today I'm going to be taking you around the Karoq SEL edition and the Karoq Sportline edition as well. Now both have keyless entry, so you can put your hand behind the handle to unlock the car and against the indent on the back to lock it. Press and hold the unlock button on either of them and you'll see your windows go down. On the Sportline you've got the panoramic roof, which also pops open at the same time when you do that. Press and hold the lock button. As long as you're keeping it held down, it will wind your windows back up. And then the Sportline, close the panoramic roof as well. To fill up with fuel, make sure your car is unlocked and just press on the back here. That will pop it open. You'll find your handy ice scraper on the inside here. In the event of a diesel, you've got your diesel cap here and your AdBlue. Or for the petrol, you have your petrol cap there. And when you're filling up, you can pop it in the hole there to stop the cap from bashing against your paint. To use the virtual pedal, come to the back of the car, swipe your foot underneath and stand back and your boot will open. Inside your boot you'll find handy hooks on the side, 12-volt socket. If you give this a pull, it will lower the seat in front. You have one on each side. Double-sided boot floor has carpet one side and rubber on the other. And then under your boot floor you get a puncture repair kit as standard. You do have room for a space saver spare wheel in there as well. If you have the four-wheel drive version, there's a little bit less room under there. So what it does is it raises the boot floor if you put a spare wheel in, meaning it is almost a level boot floor with the lip on the back. Inside the passenger side, you can see your passenger airbag control here. Simply take the key apart to turn that in there. Then you have your bonnet release catch in the floor. Of course, no Skoda would be complete without the umbrella. On the Karoq, it is tucked under the passenger seat just here. Under your bonnet, you'll find your coolant, brake fluid, dipstick and engine oil. And on the passenger side, your battery, fuse box and windscreen wash. Windscreen wash, when you pop that open, creates a little funnel to stop you from spilling your windscreen wash while you're filling up. The tray table's on the backrest. If you give it a pull, it will come to a 45-degree angle, ideal for putting a tablet on. And then if you squeeze the handle just here, you can pull it up so that it is horizontal. You also have a cup holder here that slides out. To start the engine, in a manual, put your foot on the clutch and press the start engine button just there, or on an automatic, press your foot on the brake and do the same. Your headlight controls are down here. You've got the off position, automatic, and this will switch between daytime running lights and low beam. You've then got your side lights and then your low beam. If it is raining outside, you've got a lot of spray coming off the road. I want to pop it in low beam because that will also turn your rear lights on. Pull it out one click for your front fog lights and a second click for your rear fog lights. You have a button for the electric boot. If you pull that, it will pop your boot open. If you pull and hold it, as long as you're keeping it held, it will close your boot for you. You then have your mirror controls here, left mirror and your right mirror. Use the joystick to move it up, down, in and out. You can then heat your mirrors and a folding mirror function as well. You then have your electric windows front and rear, and then child locks for the rear doors. The right hand side of the steering wheel controls your assist features and your virtual cockpit here. If you use the right arrow, it will swap between the different screens that you can have for your virtual cockpit. You can see there's 5 different screens for you. And if you press the left button, that pulls up the middle menu. You can then use the roller to scroll between the different bits of information. If you click, that will select that. In the driving data, you can use the roller to just scroll between the different bits of information within the driving data menu and click to select. And if we go to the navigation and click, you can then use the roller to zoom in or zoom out on the map. If you have the navigation background, press the right button. You can see you can have it enlarged on the screen here, or with the digital displays on the side. And then back to the classic view. If you press the assist button at the top here, you can see you've got lane assist there. To turn that off, click the button. And speed warning, you can do the same. Lane assist will activate at around 37 miles an hour. And if you get too close to the curb, it will steer you gently away from it. If you get too close to the white lines to the right of you, it will steer you the other way. If you're using your indicators, it will cancel the lane assist for that maneuver, and it will turn off when you drop below around 34 miles an hour. Also in here, you will find your cruise control, adaptive cruise control, speed limiter, and then at the bottom, the front assist. To select either cruise control or adaptive cruise control, will be that one, and then speed limiter, that one. Again, click with the roller to select which one you would like to use. On the left hand side, you've got your volume control. You can scroll up and down to change the volume, and you can click to mute and unmute. You can skip between radio stations and music tracks using the arrow buttons here. Heated steering wheel, press once for full power and you get a little symbol just there. Twice for medium power, 3 times for low, and then 4 times turns it off again. You then have Laura, your onboard voice assistant, which I'll tell you more about a little bit later. Behind the steering wheel on the right, you've got your windscreen wipers. One's down for a single wipe, one's up onto intermittent, and this will be your rain sensitive wipers. And you can adjust the sensitivity from high sensitivity to low sensitivity, so they'll wipe automatically in the rain. You then have your standard low speed and high speed. If you pull it towards you, it will squirt the windscreen, away from you to activate the rear wiper, and all the way back to squirt the rear window. On the left hand side, you've got your indicators. A gentle push will flash 3 times. You can push it all the way and it's good until cancelled. Pull it towards you and you will flash your high beam, and you'll see a little blue symbol there. Push it away from you, and if you have the matrix lights, you'll see the A in the center of a white high beam light, and that will automatically change between low beam and high beam in darkness and in light, as well as blanking out areas of the high beam to avoid dazzling oncoming drivers. Push it away and that will turn it off as well. If you have the standard LED lights, push it away from you and it will come up with your high beam blue there, and push it away, pull it towards you to cancel that. You then have your cruise control here, adaptive cruise control. Press set at the desired speed. You can then increase and decrease the speed, and you'll see on the dash here you've got a little arrow on the speedo just there, going up and down, showing you your speed, as well as an indication in there. You can cancel and resume, and you can adjust the distance between you and the vehicle in front using the rocker on the top. In the SEL, you'll see a glasses storage compartment. Press to open. And in the Sport line, you'll have the controls for the panoramic roof. If you press the back button here, that retracts your sunshade, and then you've got the panoramic roof. Pull that back to open the roof, and then you can stop it by pressing on it, and then press all the way back to close it again. Beneath the infotainment screen, you'll find your dual zone air conditioning. Use the middle roller to control the fan speed, right roller for the driver's side temperature, and left roller for the passenger side temperature. If you want to synchronize both, press the sync button, and now the passenger side will move at the same time as the driver's side. You can also press auto, and this will control the fan speed automatically, so it will blow harder to achieve a temperature and then slow down to maintain it. To override the auto, just use the manual roller again. You can have air conditioning, just fresh air. This is a shortcut to put the blowers on the windscreen on full power to demist, and your rear window demister is there. Turn the whole system off by pressing off and then turn it back on again here. And if you've upgraded to the winter pack with the heated windscreen, you can press this button to heat your windscreen to demist it. Heated seats for passenger and driver are here, and you press once for full power, twice for medium, 3 times for low, and 4 times for off. You've got your recirc function here, and then the direction of the fans, and you can select and highlight whichever ones you would like. If you press the menu button, this will pop up on the infotainment screen. On the infotainment screen, you're able to control all of your aircon settings as well if you prefer to do it on here. And you've also got air care. What this does is it filters out fine dust and pollen. You can activate that by pressing the active button. And under settings, you'll see that you've got the automatic windscreen heating if you have the heated windscreen, and automatic supplementary heater in here as well. Underneath the air conditioning, you'll see your automatic start-stop on the engine. Defaults to on every time you get in the car, but you can turn it off with a click of a button there. If you have added the parking pack, you'll have this button here. I'll show you more about that in just a moment. You can turn your sensors and camera on and off by clicking that button there. Then you'll find your hazard lights, lock and unlock the doors, and then passenger airbag. If it's turned off, you'll see a warning on the side there. To use the park assist for self-parking, press the park assist button. You'll see on the dash it tells you what to do. So it's asking us to continue driving forwards. So if we continue to drive forwards until it spots a parking space. Now I know we're coming up to one on the left. And now you see it has spotted one on the left, which is just there. It's still telling us to drive forward. So we'll continue to drive forward until it says to do otherwise. And now you've got reverse back. So I'll pop it into reverse. And now I just use the accelerator and the brake. And the car will steer itself into the steering space. So I'm just balancing the brake to control the speed while watching in the mirrors and the camera to ensure that no one steps out behind us or any sudden traffic. And now it has come onto the screen. Can't see. There we go. So it's saying to go forwards. So select drive and then tap the accelerator, and it will just straighten us up. Nice and gentle on the tyres. And a bing to change direction again. So put it into reverse. Tap the accelerator and then control using the brake. And now it says park assist stopped, please take over steering, and we are perfectly parked. You can do that for reverse parking or parallel parking. In front of the gear shift we have a sliding compartment. Under here you'll find a 12-volt socket and 2 USB-C charging ports, and then we have a wireless phone charging pad here as well. For the gear shift, you press the button on the side just here with your thumb, and then you can move it down into reverse. This will make your sensors and camera work automatically. You can then pull it down into neutral and then all the way down into drive mode. Drive mode will be indicated by a D on the screen. If you pull it down again, that'll put it into sport mode, which will keep your gears lower and your engine revs higher, giving you a bit more power. Pull it down again to put it into drive mode. If you push it across to the side, that'll put it into manual mode, and you'll see on the dash M followed by the gear that you're in. You can then increase the gear using the gear shift, or down using the gear shift, so you can hold the gears on steep hills, or you can use the paddles behind the steering wheel. To put it back into automatic mode, slide it across. You can push it up into neutral, but to put it into reversal park you need to press the button on the side again. Press the mode button to select the driver modes, and you can continue to press the mode button to go through each of the different modes. With the SEL you'll have Eco, Normal, Sport and Individual. Eco gives you a more economical drive, adaptive cruise control and air conditioning, saving you a bit of fuel. If you have the dynamic chassis control like on the Sport line, you've got your comfort mode and the 4x4, the snow mode, and under individual, if you click change, you can see all the different functions that you can change on your car. If you press the off-road button, it comes up with your off-road driving profile, and you can see you can swipe to show different bits of information in each of the roundels here. Your handbrake can be activated and deactivated. If you put your foot on the brake and then pull up, that will apply your handbrake and you'll see the P is now lit. If you push down, that will release it. If the A is lit, this means that the handbrake is automatic. You can turn that off to have manual control of the handbrake if you prefer. With the automatic handbrake turned on, if you accelerate away in gear, it will release the handbrake, and then as you come to a stop, your handbrake will activate automatically. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button as well to help support this channel. The infotainment screen can be turned on and off by pressing and holding the power button for a second. When you turn it off, you'll see the clock, the date and the dots. In a few seconds the dots will disappear. There we go. As my hand comes towards the screen, the dots reappear. As I come away, they disappear. And you'll see this throughout this demonstration, where the proximity sensor will pick up whether my hand is coming towards the screen or not. If you do see the dots on the bottom, it means that you can swipe between the different screens. Press and hold the power button to turn back on. And you have your volume control, home screen and main menu on here as well. If you ever see this hand symbol here, it means that you can swipe between different screens without touching the screen using the gesture control. Under radio, you'll find your digital and FM radio. You can choose your station from the list here. You've now got your preset list. Press and hold on any of these squares to create a favourite on there. If you click station, you'll see what's happening on the radio at the moment, and then your settings in here is where you'll go for things like your traffic program, where other radio stations will interrupt your normal listening to give you updates on what's happening on the road. And you'll notice the labels on the menu buttons at the bottom will disappear and reappear as part of the proximity sensor as well. Back into the main menu. To get yourself set up on your phone, select your mobile. You can go into your mobile phone's Bluetooth settings and search for My Skoda, followed by the code that is unique to your Skoda, and connect following the instructions on your phone and on the car screen. Once you've done that, you'll be able to use your Bluetooth to make and receive telephone calls through there, and also listen to your media through here. If you have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, then it will ask you if you'd like to use that, and then SmartLink will turn to either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and you'll be able to access your phone's apps in there. The navigation screen, you'll see we're on the home screen at the moment, and the arrow in the bottom left, if you press that, the home screen will move to the left, exposing the map. If you press the arrow on the bottom left, it will pull the home screen back up, and this will populate with suggested destinations based on your driving. Click the search menu to search for an address, point of interest or favourite. I usually go by postcode, and you'll see it comes up under here. And you see there's 4 different suggestions, so if we click the arrow button we can see all 4. Which one do we want? Let's go for the top one. You'll then be able to see more options, start or choose different routes. If we click start, you can see we've got our map orientation here, current speed limit, and then search menu and additional settings, and stop navigation at the top. As my hand comes away, those buttons disappear and reappear as my hand comes towards the screen. Back into the main menu, and then we have our driver assist functions. Your lane assist is active and you can have steering wheel vibration on or off. Now this will default to on, as mentioned earlier, and steer you away from the curb or the white lines if you're not indicating and you're travelling at over 37 miles an hour. If you have the adaptive cruise control, it will give you a speed limit preview and road layout preview on the dash. You can turn those functions off. Your front assist or emergency braking, someone steps out in front of you or pulls out in front of you suddenly and you don't react, it will give you an alert, and if you still don't react, it can activate the brakes for you. Speed warning is active and you can either have display and sound or just display. The warning threshold can be set to the speed limit 3 miles an hour over or 5 miles an hour over, and you can have a sound which will alert you every time you go from one speed zone into another one. The little coffee cup here is your drowsiness monitor, which is active, and you can adjust the sensitivity low, medium or high. Into the main menu, and we then have the vehicle menu. You've got selection, off-road and settings at the bottom here. Selection for your virtual cockpit. You've got the classic view, which will show your gear and your speed in the cockpit. What you can do is go to view 1 and then change what information you want to see in the virtual cockpit. Under the selection again, we then have your driving data, and you can see your since start, long term and since refueling information. And finally, under selection, you'll find your vehicle status. What we wanted to say is have a good journey, any issues with the car, and it will tell you about them in here. Move across and you've got your tyre pressure monitoring system. If you adjust the pressure of your tyres, you'll need to press the set button to reset the sensors for your tyres. Under settings on the bottom right, this will bring up all of your vehicle settings. You've got your traction control activated here, or electronic stability control. If you go into tyres, you can set your tyre pressures here. You can also set a speed warning if you put winter tyres on, as an example. For your light settings, you'll find your dynamic light assist in here, sensitivity, and if you have the matrix lights, the travel mode, so you can switch that to right-hand traffic if you go to the continent. The coming home and leaving home function, currently set to 10 seconds each, is how long your headlights will stay on for when unlocking the car and when leaving the car. For your parking and manoeuvring, park distance control, so that is when you put your car in reverse, it will automatically activate the sensors and cameras. You've got the volume and tone settings of the beepers, how much your entertainment will reduce in volume by, and also your manoeuvre braking. This is if you're reversing and the car feels that you're going to hit something that you haven't seen, it will activate the brake for you. Background lighting, you can have it set to automatic, manual or off. If you go to manual, you'll be able to select the colours and you'll see that it will go on the doors and across the dash here. Also change the background colour on your dashboard. If you set it to automatic, it will change colour based on the driving mode that you have selected. Mirrors and wipers. The mirrors will adjust in sync, so if you adjust the right mirror, it will adjust the left mirror at the same time. Lower in reverse gear, if you twizzle the mirror control to the left mirror and then put the car into reverse, it will lower your left mirror to help you see the curb. When you drive off again, when you get to around 10 miles an hour, it will put your mirror back to the original position. And the mirrors will fold in automatically when locking. Wipers will wipe automatically in the rain, provided you've set it to that first intermittent function shown earlier. And you've got your rear wiper comfort functions. If you put the car in reverse and it detects rain, it will automatically wipe the rear window for you. Under opening and closing, you can open and close all the windows from your key fob. You can have that set to just the driver's window or off. Door unlocking, single door or the vehicle side or all doors from the keyless or the remote central locking. So a single click only does one of those actions. A double click will always unlock all of the doors. Easy open is your kick activation, your virtual pedal on the boot, and your interior monitoring is to turn your alarm on and off. In the instrument cluster, you've got various bits of information that you can filter down out of the driver's menu in the middle of the dashboard. And you've also got your reset driving data. Time and date settings can be set to GPS. You've got daylight savings time here. When you get to winter time, just click to move the clocks back an hour, and you can have 12-hour or 24-hour clock. Units can be customized to the units that you prefer to use. And your service information, this tells you how long until a service is due for your inspection service and your oil service. So a lot of information in the vehicle menu there. In your sound menu, you'll find your equalizer, position of the sound focus, and then your volume settings. And then under the settings tab, touchscreen tone and hand gesture feedback settings. 3 dots on the bottom so we can swipe across. Air conditioning does the same as pressing the menu button on the air conditioning as I showed you earlier. Under manuals, it's an onboard manual. You do have a manual in the glove box as well. Then you have legal information. Under users, this is where you'll go to set up the My Skoda app. If you download the My Skoda app from your app store, set yourself up with a username and profile, and then connect your phone so you have remote access to your vehicle. That will then also unlock the shop and the offers on here as well. Any service campaigns will come through on there. And under the settings tab, you'll find your screen settings for things like your screensaver, automatic color, brightness. Now the proximity sensor, if you don't want those buttons to appear and disappear, you can turn that function off. If you want the screen to be blank when you turn the infotainment off, click that button there, and then you have your tone buttons. Hand gesture, if you don't get on with that, you can turn that off in there. Then you have time and date and units, as in the vehicle menu. You've got your language settings here. Voice control, it will show example commands in the infotainment system. When you press it, you can turn that off. And you do have a wake word which is active here. And you can use the wake word, which is, "Okay, Laura.
How can I help?
Play BBC Radio 1.
Did you mean BBC Radio 1 Extra?
No, line 2.
Line 2. BBC Radio 1.
So you can use Laura to do all sorts of things. Well worth having a play. Then you have your Wi-Fi and data connection, mobile device, restore factory settings, system information, copyright, and tucked away at the bottom a configuration wizard which you can use to get yourself set up with everything the first time. On the final page you'll see app updates. Click there to install any updates that come through over the air. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments below, and if you know someone who has a Karoq, send this video to them so that they can learn all the things that they can do with their car. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.